Right.
I need some lemon juice.
Do, re, mi, fa,
Where's your water?
sol,
Some water.
la, ti, do.
Let me give you some water.
Welcome everyone to another episode of No Results and Excuses, where we talk fitness, nonsense, and partial facts. My name is Matthew Bauman, and as always, my co-hosts
Juggernaut. Justin Swat.
Just Juggernaut.
and Gold Dust.
Gold Dust.
Gold Dust.
Yeah.
I gave him his
It's one of
new
my
nickname.
favourite wrestlers.
But hang on.
Oh, Courtney Dick.
We haven't told our listeners that Courtney actually looks like Craig David.
Yeah, we could call him Craig David.
Yeah.
I think that should be the thumbnail of our new episode.
Yes.
Okay.
Craig David.
That'll
Gold
be
Dust.
the next little our new logo.
And on
Gold
Instagram,
Dust.
you need to actually say, does he look more like Craig David or Drake?
Or Gold Dust. Gold Dust is wrestling a professional, a real sport.
I think like he's pushing Gold Dust.
He likes it. He thought about it for the week because I did say it to him at some stage.
If you're Gold Dust, then I'm Triple H.
Triple H, okay.
Oh, I don't know.
You can be
I
that
don't know
Irish
any of
guy,
those guys except
Sheamus.
for Gold Dust.
You can
Sheamus.
be, if you let your hair down, you can be Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, is he cool?
The Heartbreak Kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had this pose,
But
which I always try to
wasn't
recreate
there a
as
guy
a kid.
that used to push his feet in people's faces at the end of the
What's
he won?
that? Is that a fetish?
Yeah, but it's like sticky
Fetish
feet.
man. I also like
Push his
pantyhose.
feet in people's faces.
Yeah, he also likes pantyhose, apparently.
He would go in people's houses and steal their underwear.
Isn't that the Grinch?
The Grinch, wasn't he a kiddies
The Grinch.
Santa
I
guy?
think he stole Christmas.
He did steal Christmas.
And underwear.
All right, guys, let's try keep on track.
Yeah.
Today we are at Cape CrossFit Gardens again.
Yeah.
Justin, thank you for having us here.
It's a
For
pleasure.
allowing us in. This room is cooking.
Yes.
I'm sweating. My
Oh,
glasses are steaming up.
Summer.
I soundproofed everything, so
wish
we
it
shouldn't
was-
have any issues this week.
Good
I wish
job.
it was winter. I got this extra piece of soundproofing.
Yeah,
Just-
Courtney bought a 24 pack of eggs. Obviously, the box without the eggs,
Yeah.
just to add some.
So if this episode sounds like real quality, we know why. It's because of these eggs. Yeah.
We're
Right.
actually requesting that all our listeners send in a 6-pack
Of
of
eggs.
empty egg
Eggs?
boxes,
Yeah.
and we're going to line the walls with it to
Yeah.
create a sound box.
That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Thanks,
we'll do
guys.
that.
Yeah, we need lots more than one.
Are we partial to free range or battery?
Yes, we don't like abuse. Abuse
Only
chickens.
free range. We want them to be happily running around before they get
Murdered.
murdered. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. You got some news, Matt. It's today, Justin, in case you didn't know, is the 8th of October. It's not the 26th of September. It's the 8th of October.
See, guys, we're getting clever.
We're in
Oh,
the
I
future.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're becoming professional now. We're not giving news anymore that's expired by the time the episode comes out.
We just find the right news. That's we can tell the future.
Yes. So
Okay.
today's the 8th of October, which means that the Open starts in 2 days. I hope you're prepared, Justin.
I'm feeling good.
Have
I'm
you
feeling
signed up
ready.
yet?
I have signed up.
Yeah?
I
Have you
paid
signed
my
up?
$20.
No,
I haven't signed up either.
I don't know if I'm going to sign up.
Apparently
I can barely squat.
sign-ups were like less than 100,000.
Yeah, listen. I think South Africans in
Justin's going to go
particular
back on his last comment.
think
from
that
last
$20
Yes.
is like 2,500 rand.
Yes, basically.
You know what I mean?
Especially now that there's a bank strike and we can't get our money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with that being said, I think South Africans need to realize that it's only 300 rand,
Yeah.
and that's like skipping one meal at bootleggers.
Cheapers. Yeah, that's true.
Just
Okay.
one. I mean, tell your friends it's fine. You're not going to be there this Saturday. You're going to sign up for the Open instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that said, the Open is what date did you say?
10th.
10th, and that day I recommend going to watch Rich Froning versus Scott Panchik.
Yeah.
He'll be on the Rogue site.
The what do you call it? The Iron Game.
Well, they call it that.
Iron
Their
Game.
umbrella is like the Iron Game.
Yes,
and they
yes.
do specific sports.
Yes.
And that day they are going to be live broadcasting Froning versus Panchik, which is
Yeah.
a nice matchup considering Froning's been out for a while.
Yes.
So I'm guessing
Panchik finished
might be
4th
no.
in the
And,
games.
and Panchik is fully trained at his best,
Yes.
and Froning probably beat him.
Yes, that'll be funny. If Froning beats
You're
him.
speculating that Froning will
Yes,
beat him.
I'm just
Putting it out there.
Putting it out there. Who's going to win?
I say Froning because I love Rich.
And who's going to win, Justin?
I'm going to say that Scott Panchik's going to win because it's going to involve a heavy clean.
So I was
After a
just saying
Metcon,
who's going to win our hearts.
there's going to be a Met.
And it's Froning.
Froning will win our house.
Yes.
Especially if he wears his old school headband.
Oh, I hope so.
Bless him.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, carry on.
No, I was going to say, if you got Panchik and Froning in the same workout, I'm going to say that there's a heavy clean involved, either before or after a nasty Metcon.
We should do a heavy clean before a Metcon. That would be interesting.
Or how about a heavy clean, a Metcon, and then a heavy clean, and your score is the differential between the two.
Oh, so if you go slower in the second Metcon, you lose points.
There's only one Metcon. There's a clean, a Metcon, and a clean.
A clean. Oh, two
So
cleans.
max?
Yes.
Oh, I see. So that if you get tired and you clean much less, then you suck at CrossFit.
Pretty much.
There we go.
Yes.
That's a test.
There we go. So Dave Castro, put that in there. And you can also watch the French Throwdown are also doing a 20.1 announcement if you want to watch that. If you don't like
Do you know where it's going to
Droning.
be shown?
on the internet, probably on the French Throwdown.
The French
The French.
are not very popular right now,
Really?
in South Africa at least.
Why is that?
Jerome Garcias and Romain Poitre fucked up the game in the World Cup
Are those
against...
do they play for the All Blacks? Those guys?
some people said they played the World Cup.
Yes.
They're actually referees.
They sound like New Zealand names.
But no, they're French, as far as I know.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't do very well at officiating the first game.
But that was 2 weeks ago because today is the 8th of October.
Yeah.
So
Why are you talking about such old...
we're over that.
I'm just letting you know that the listeners aren't going to be happy about talking about the French Throwdown.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll
but
get off that quickly then.
get off it quick. I got some other news. If we're finished with the Open,
Yeah, CrossFit stuff's done.
CrossFit, that's boring.
Mm.
So we want to talk about Virgin Active a bit today. So this might interest you, Justin, since you're not a member of Virgin Active. Me and Matt are members of Virgin Active.
Mm.
Okay.
I love Virgin Active.
We were kings of Constantia.
Do you advertise that when you go to your CrossFit, your local CrossFit box?
Yes.
Mm,
But
tell them.
Virgin Active don't want to give me a free t-shirt like I get at Kev CrossFit. I get 20 t-shirts a year. But whenever we go to Virgin Active, that guy, he's a trainer there, he says, oh, look at these guys are CrossFitters. And I'd be like, come on, man, jeez, just
You
calm
can tell
down.
by our shoes. That's what he said.
Yeah, he said he can tell by our shoes. I told this guy I've been a member of Virgin Active since 1993. Do you know that?
That's impressive.
Yeah, a very long time.
But hang on, so you're telling me he was not happy about the fact that you were there?
Yeah, because, well, we did take 90% of the equipment and line it up in a line. We took all the ski ergs.
Were you doing a chipper?
Yes,
Spikes.
basically.
It was a chipper. No, it was AMRAP.
It was like an
AMRAP.
alternating EMOM AMRAP
3
chipper.
movements.
Just, he probably
For
looked
time.
at this and he just thought, fuck, I'm going to be here till 8 o'clock tonight packing this away.
We took all the ski ergs, all the assault bikes, all the boxes, and all the kettlebells, and we lined them up, and we just irritated this man. He wasn't happy.
He was making fun of us, and he's standing there training someone, and he's got her doing like one-legged like pistol squats on a Bosu ball kind of thing. Kettlebell in her hand.
Functional training.
Yes, he's really...
Yeah. Well, we'll talk a bit more about that today. But anyway, since I love Virgin Active, the air conditioning is good, and there's a pool, and they sell smoothies.
Okay.
So, Virgin Active
For $2,000 a month.
for $2,000, yes. Their classes are getting full now, so they started to move to like a more class-based model, and occupancy level in their classes is 65%. So their classes are 65% full, which is really good for a model which is normally focuses on sort of just individual training and go and do what you want.
I think
on
they
the floor.
figured out that nobody likes to go to the gym to have to think for themselves.
That's the thing, though.
Yes.
Then people don't know what they're doing, and then they've seen all the stuff's working, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
Where?
you know?
At CrossFit?
Well,
On Instagram?
I don't know. I mean, it must be just the general South African community, what the fitness community is getting. It must be social. I mean, how are people finding out that these things work a bit better?
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably find that they maybe went to a CrossFit gym or a functional training private gym and they had a cool experience.
Yeah.
And they went back to the suggestion box at
So we
Virgin and said, listen,
Classes.
Yeah.
classes, please.
Are we on the rise of functional fitness gyms? Are they getting are more coming out every year? I mean, I don't know all the gyms in.
I've got a good stat for you though. Do you know that gym penetration, which is like which is a funny way of saying it? Justin, what are you looking at me like that?
That's an interesting topic.
Gym penetration. Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking about. I was just thinking about how many people go to gym.
There was some negative press at Virgin Active the other day.
About gym penetration. That guy, I saw him.
I mean, I saw videos floating around. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
Where did you see them? What's the website? What category was it on?
No, it was just on the interwebs. What's up?
You guys can find it yourselves.
Yeah, you have to go into what category did you look under to
Otherwise,
see that?
DM Gold Dust over there.
Gym penetration. Anyway, so in the middle income South African market, gym penetration is only at 7%. which is quite low. Stop laughing.
So, in other words, what Courtney's trying to say is to break into the market.
Yes, penetrate the market.
Your chance of being successful is quite low.
7%. So not lots of people go to gym, and these are new stats. But apparently it's growing. So Virgin Active they've seen the trends and they're investing heavily in two things. One is group classes, and so they see that people want to do classes. And secondly, they're doing lots of work on digital stuff. Like they got their app, which they're really pushing, and they're trying to do more like online programming and stuff like that, because that's where things seem to be going. And we see a similar thing in CrossFit, I guess.
Listen, everything's going online. I mean, you can run your entire gym off a program by somebody on a different continent. Or you can buy your personal training package from a great trainer that's generating custom-made stuff for you, or sort of general programs that they sell to everybody. Which is very popular these days.
Yeah, so a lot of people are doing this apparently. But yeah, so that's our little Virgin Active news. Did you know that Virgin Active is owned by a company which also owns Blue Ribbon Bread and Snowflake Flour?
So that's not a little bit of a conflict in interest?
I don't know. Greg Glassman would probably say it's a conspiracy.
Conspiracy, yeah.
You know, he's always talking about big pharma and big soda. This is probably like a big gluten.
Yes, I mean, if you look,
Virgin Active is like, yeah. This
I mean,
is
if you
great.
track
Great.
the price of Blue Ribbon Bread in comparison to the price of a Virgin Active membership, you might see that the bread price comes down 1 week on a special.
Yes.
But then the gym membership goes up.
Yeah.
And you're forced into buying bread that's cheaper because it's on special. So you consume more, but then you feel guilty for eating 2 loaves of bread. So you go and sign up at the gym for the more expensive bread.
These guys sat down and did their research.
These guys are thinking.
Yeah,
these guys are geniuses. We need to tell Greg about this.
Oh.
Big gluten.
Big gluten.
I think that brings us into what we actually wanted to talk about today, Matt.
The main topic of the day.
Yeah.
So the main topic of the day is, which we never actually introduced our topic. It is actually...
Is there a rewind
Let me
button
find
on
it
this
on
thing?
page 3. How to build a high intensity program for yourself in a commercial gym. But let's start with the basic of the basics. Okay, I'm going to speak to you guys and you're going to answer me.
Okay, the questionnaire.
Sure.
It's kind of a questionnaire, okay. So firstly, let's assume that this is about the average Joe at the gym.
General Joe.
The General Joe. What's the General Joe want?
What does he want? To look good naked.
Yeah, lose weight and put a bit of muscle on.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Does he want to do 100 burpees?
No.
No.
He doesn't want to hurt either.
No.
You're going to have to, possibly.
Yeah.
But anyway, cool. So keep that at top of mind.
In summary, it hurts to look good naked.
Well, we'll get to the intensity part a bit later.
Yeah.
So, what is the best way to get this goal? Okay.
Karate.
First is, it's not doing karate moves on a basketball.
No.
Do you agree?
But that's fun though.
It's just fun.
I've seen it. Justin's thinking about it. He's thinking, actually, I was going to say, yes.
I'm trying to remember my kata moves from when I did white belt back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
I never moved past white belt.
Ishni
Didn't work well for me. Very boring.
Then number 2, very, very low intensity movements for 1 hour.
Okay.
I've also seen
Will you
that.
get your goal from that?
Will you lose weight and look good naked?
Very, very low intensity movements. If you were to...
For 1 hour.
Oh, for 1 hour? No, you might have to change that to 11 hours.
And then the
Steady
cardio
state.
equipment will only answer to one of your goals. It'll make you look like a starved microwave potato.
Yeah.
Am I correct or incorrect?
You're correct. I don't believe any of those things are great when it comes to getting results fast.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, cardio is pretty boring.
This is going in a good direction. You're answering everything correctly.
You're doing so well.
Okay, so to accomplish this average Joe's goal, we'll give him a name.
General.
Mr. General.
Yeah.
General Joe. The average goal of losing weight and gaining a bit of muscle.
Looking good.
Am I correct in saying that 1, high intensity is key?
Yes,
Is that correct?
absolutely.
Cool. 2, to train large muscle groups, which in turn calls for more body fat or calorie burning.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Is there any more?
Compound movements.
Compound movements. Would that fall under big muscle
Exactly.
groups?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So now we've worked out what the average person would want to do at the gym. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
So what they want to do and what they should do is in conflict.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and they're doing karate and Bosu balls basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, we are saying the average goer, so we can't have people come shout at us, the specialists. We're not talking about
Shout
specialists
at
or anything
Matt.
like that. Yeah, shout at me.
Shout at Matt. He said it. I didn't say anything.
My Instagram handle is 1299956.
Courtney will be in Studio One and Virgin Active in Plumstead.
You can find me in Spinning
In Plumstead, yes. Plumstead Virgin Active. Find me there.
And he will be offering karate on Bosu balls at a very, very, very low intensity.
Okay, so there is... Okay, we've cleared that. Now we know that there's common misconceptions between these people that go there. Okay.
Yeah.
First one is you cannot target fat in one area. Is that true?
You cannot.
Explain what I mean.
To burn fat in a localized area is silly because basically it's a metabolic concept. It's physiological. By boosting your metabolism, by burning calories, your body is going to lose body fat in a variety of different places based on your genetic composition.
So if I do a lot of sit-ups, it doesn't mean the fat around my abs is going to go away.
No.
Damn it.
No,
Fair.
unfortunately not.
Sorry.
What you might do is develop a tight psoas and maybe a bit of a back injury.
And then you're going to be making money for Virgin and going and sitting with the
bread.
with the bread and the physios.
And that brings us actually very nicely into our topic for today. So we're going to talk about if you're a member of a Globo gym, as they like to call it on podcasts, the Virgin Active or Planet Fitness or any other gym, and you want to build yourself a high intensity program because you agree that high intensity is what you need to get fitter and to get in better shape. How do you do it? So we first want to talk about what is high intensity and what is high intensity interval training. So high intensity interval training, as the name says, it's a relatively high intensity for you. And I think what's important is to distinguish that it's for you. For someone who's a sprinter, you did sprinting at school and you did sprinting at varsity, high intensity might be sprinting for 10 to 20 seconds for you. If you're someone that's been sedentary and you haven't done any exercise in the last 20 years, high intensity might be a brisk walk up a hill. And then, so running or brisk walking up a hill and then walking slowly back down to the beginning and repeating it a few times. That could be high intensity for you. So it's all dependent on you. And the chemical pathways, again, not an expert, but the chemical pathways that go on in high intensity training. Sort of for the first 10 to 20 seconds, you're using phosphocreatine. So you're using that energy which your body can produce quickly.
So what is phosphocreatine?
Phosphocreatine comes from ATP, as far as I remember, and your body uses it quickly.
What's ATP?
Adenosine triphosphate.
There we go.
So your body uses it up quite quickly, and then there's almost no more left. And after 20 seconds, your phosphocreatine starts to run low, and you start to use what I've found is anaerobic glycolysis. So it's still anaerobic. You're not using oxygen, but it's the glycolytic pathway, and it's a bit more of a mission for your body to get the energy, but it does last a bit longer.
What is that energy? Sugars or fats or foods?
Yeah, I think it's sugars.
Sugars.
Yeah. Again, no experts.
So your body just basically kicks over into the part that you want it to, which is basically losing fat.
Well, again, not an expert, so I wouldn't say.
It's a partial fact.
Partial fact, yeah. But that's when you start to produce lactic acid as a byproduct. So you get that deep burn in your legs.
Yeah.
Like imagine running 20 seconds and you get that horrible burn, or sprinting on a bike and you get that terrible burn.
Metabolic waste.
Yeah, metabolic waste. So after those short bursts of high intensity, you can't sustain it anymore. Like you can't run at your top speed for a minute.
Yes.
You'll just start fading. After 10 minutes, if you start sprinting, after 10 minutes you'll probably be walking and gasping and dying. So with high intensity interval training, the point is to go for those short bursts, sort of from 10 seconds up to maybe a minute, maybe push it a bit longer on some exercises, and then to have periods of recovery, and then to use that lower metabolic demand to create fat loss.
So we agree that this is one of the best ways to create fat loss.
I think it's not a done deal.
Yeah.
But I think all the research over the last decades points to it being sort of one of the best ways to lose fat.
So it falls under high intensity basically.
Yeah.
Of burning, and then just quickly aside, then the best thing will probably to go do a bit of compound movements on a different day.
Yeah, or maybe put some of those compound movements into the high intensity. So we'll talk about how to construct a program.
Yeah.
We'll give a few workouts that you could probably try at your Virgin Active or wherever, and maybe let us know how it goes. But it can be quite simple to make a high intensity training program for yourself at Virgin Active or Planet Fitness or wherever, and to avoid those things we talked about, ending up just going there and walking on the treadmill for an hour or doing karate on the Bosu ball for an hour.
That's the devil.
Yeah. But there's some good benefits of high intensity training, which you wanted to speak to us about.
Well, of course, you guys want to be losing body fat, so this is going to be very convenient for you, especially if you have a short amount of time.
Yeah.
I think the world is moving very fast these days, and yes, while one can lose weight by going on a 100-kilometer bike ride, it's probably not going to be the most beneficial thing for you to do when you only have half an hour during your lunch period.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely something to consider. Of course, you guys will be strengthening the cardiovascular system. You'll be developing sport-specific energy systems. If you're into sport, that is. Some people obviously train to have a functional carryover to things like rugby or hockey on a club level, or maybe
like sprinting. I mean, you play rugby, you sprint for 5 seconds, you tackle someone. If you play tennis or basketball, you jump a few times and then you walk around, you sprint
recover and you go again.
Yeah. So it's sport specific kind of.
Yeah. Lots of stamina development in that regard.
Yeah.
Or maybe just running after your son.
Yeah.
Hey,
also, yeah. And his children are always running.
Functional.
Children
Beautiful.
always running and being crazy.
I mean, I saw Knox running in the gym on the weekend. I mean, Thad, you have your hands full.
Couldn't keep up with him.
You're so fast, that guy.
It's like those slots you explained last week.
And then, of course, you guys want to be working and developing some capacity. And by capacity, we mean the ability to handle a larger volume of work in perhaps the same or shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
That word is the buzzword at the moment in
work capacity.
Yeah, or just capacity in general.
Yeah.
People reference athletes as having greater or lesser capacity.
Yeah.
Someone like Sam Briggs, who is known for having one of the biggest engines in CrossFit. Her capacity for taking on work or getting work done is much greater than some other athletes out in the field.
Yes.
And that's got a lot to do with the fact that she spent years and years and years of applying herself to high intensity interval training.
Yeah.
So we know that the stuff can get better and better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think with doing these high intensity interval pieces, shorter intervals or longer intervals, you develop your sort of fat and carbohydrate oxidation in the skeletal muscle, and that's pretty much to keep it simple. That's like you can't really see what's happening on the inside of the body, but your heart's capacity to pump blood, your lungs' capacity to oxygenate it, and then the on the cellular level, the mitochondria within the cells are growing and expanding. All of those sort of physiological things come together to give you the opportunity to burn and consume more energy at a quicker rate.
Yes.
So let's say your body only had the capacity to burn X amount of fat, right? With more mitochondria, that's going to become more possible.
Yeah.
Again, it's getting very technical, but basically, to bring it back down to earth for Roger out there, more training gives you a greater capacity to burn and consume more energy.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And also mental toughness.
Absolutely.
I mean, high intensity training it's not easy, and you feel like you want to quit.
Yes.
But you just got to tough it out, and over time it gets easier to tough it out.
Yeah. Well, we did that workout the other day called Western.
Yes.
The Hero WOD that had 5 rounds of 200-meter farmer carry.
Oh,
Yes.
That's all toughness, but fucking forearms.
Yeah, I mean, other than grip stamina, like you need an element of mental toughness to push beyond, you know?
Yeah.
You guys should try it.
Yeah. I'm going to try it. I want to be tough.
I want to have tough forearms.
Did you not do it?
No, I missed that day. Luckily.
Tut.
Had to work.
Courtney missed out. He's fat now. Look at him.
I'm fat, yeah. So, and like you said, it's much quicker. It doesn't waste as much time. Like running for 45 minutes, you could probably do 5 minutes of high intensity training and get a similar effect. And also it'll be much easier on your joints as well. Like doing 5 minutes of burpee box jumps and kettlebell swings probably is a lot less taxing on your knees and ankles than running for 45 minutes. So if you've got an injury, this could be something that you can use to work around injuries as well.
You know what the problem with running is? I think, yes, of course, running long distances requires a lot of mental focus when it comes to technique. But I don't think enough people that run have spent enough time working on their running
and getting better at their running.
You know?
Yeah.
Like pose running, for example, is a great way to address your running flaws.
Yeah.
But I think if you were to do some research, you'd find that most people around the world actually want to run. They enjoy running. I mean, look at the park run on the weekends, for example.
Yes.
Those things are super popular.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of them are just under the idea that they are doing a run and they're busy doing something good, and it's fitness and I'm going to get healthy. You know, how many of them are there for that? Just to look good naked.
I think many of them, to be honest, and we can talk about this later on, they're actually there to get their discovery points.
Yes.
So whether they're looking better naked, I'm not sure, but it might bring more happiness into the household knowing that
they have smoothies.
Both them and their wives have gotten 300 points that day.
Yes. I definitely love to get my points. Like after workouts, I've gone into the ski erg for 20 minutes to keep my heart rate up to get my points.
I've seen Courtney do a CrossFit workout, have a shower, put his jeans on, and then realize he was short on points and continue to ski in his jeans for another 45 minutes.
Virgin Active's doing a good job.
You got to get your points.
That's unbelievable. I honestly couldn't
How
believe
could
my
they
eyes.
mold your mind like that?
I've almost got 500, whatever you call it, points. I'm going to get a Cape Union Mart voucher.
Okay. What are you going to buy? A water bottle?
I'm going to buy some shirts.
He said we use the same amount of petrol to drive to the gym after 5 minutes.
That's true.
Yes. So we spoke a little bit about steady state cardio. Like when I was younger, I used to read the bodybuilding magazines and I used to watch Pumping Eye and that sort of thing. All these bodybuilders were doing steady state cardio, and they'd go on the treadmill and walk for an hour, or they'd go on the stepper and step for an hour, and that was their way to lose fat.
I thought you were going to say like really slow bicycles
really
for an
slow.
extended period of time.
Jeez,
Would really like ones.
Imagine how much that hurts. But it seems that the trend nowadays, not to speak for bodybuilders, is not to do so much steady state cardio anymore. They're doing a lot more things like farmers carries and loaded carries and a lot more shorter, high intensity stuff to lose fat.
Yes.
And they've realized that it doesn't take away your muscle either. So I think that's something people are worried about. Like, I want to be really jacked, I want to be big, I want to look good on the beach, but if I do high intensity stuff, I'm gonna lose my gains.
Yeah.
And I don't think it works that way.
Well, that definitely is a misconception.
Well, this still speaks to Mr. Average Joe, because now we've concluded that going for a real long jog is not going to make you muscular and shredded.
No.
And then adding in a little bit of compound movements into your example, like walking with the whole farmer's carries and then doing a row between it.
Waiters carries and
you're coming away with a far better
Functional capacity
or yield on the body to then going for a jog for 45 minutes on the treadmill.
So we've kind of said, what do you want to do? I want to look good. How are you going to do it? High intensity training. Now, how do you build a workout? If I want to go into the gym now, I've got no trainer. There's no real magazines or things you can read to do this. How do I build a high intensity workout for myself? What kind of questions do I need to ask myself firstly?
You go underneath your bed and you pull out all the men's health magazines that you've collected over the past 10 years.
And you read them.
And you go it like a fucking animation.
And you watch the man run across the pages.
Yeah.
And when he lands on page 74, you pull bench press.
Yeah.
And you turn a few more pages and you do bent over row.
Yeah.
And then some deadlifts.
Yes.
The
You
lower
put it
body.
together. And you're
put it
done.
together. And you're done.
You're done. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what is the first thing you worry about when you get to the gym?
How much time do I have?
Hmm.
Yeah. I've only got half an hour, guys. I've got to meet someone for lunch.
Yeah, but you're waiting for the machine, so you actually only have 10 minutes.
You only have 10 minutes.
And then what is so the goal is to lose a bit of weight and get a bit of fitness, and so what part of your body do you want to use?
The whole body.
Well, on Mondays normally we do chest and
No,
triceps.
Tuesdays, more chest Tuesdays.
Yeah, sorry. Tuesdays are for chest and triceps. Mondays for back and biceps.
But I think, okay, so the first thing you got to think about is how much time do you have?
Mm.
So you've only got, let's say realistically, most of us go to the gym, we have 45 minutes to an hour, including warming up and getting out of there and having a shower.
Yeah.
So 45 minutes, you could probably do a half an hour workout in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll help you think about what you can do.
So if you do that true CrossFit style, that's a hell of a long time.
That's a long time. So you could probably do 2 workouts in there if you're really crazy. And then, like Matt was saying, you need to think about doing whole body stuff. So if you want to build a high intensity training program, each time you go to the gym, think about working your whole body rather than, like Justin was saying, just we're going to do back and biceps now today.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what I wanted to ask,
Yes.
complementary movements versus movements that work against each other. And what I mean by that is, should I do a high intensity program with push-ups and bench press, which are both using the chest and triceps, or should I do a workout with lunges and push presses, which are using completely different muscle groups?
I mean, you can overload a certain muscle group for sort of like hypertrophy and strength purposes, as that's very traditional bodybuilding principles. But like more modern approaches are to not overload a certain joint or muscle group, but rather alternate, between different compound movements, which are already addressing so many muscles in one go.
Well, and then if the goal here is whole body, then we would go with the latter, which is the lunges and presses.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I think start with choosing movements that don't sort of work against each other. Yeah.
Unless, like you said, it's specialized. It's a handstand push-up and a push press.
Of
Because
course.
we want to annihilate
The shoulders.
Yeah. I think there's something that people don't think about, in that there's a lot of different ways to build a workout. When we do CrossFit, we know that there are different ways to have a workout. You can have an EMOM, which is every minute on the minute. You could go every 2 minutes on the minute or every 5 minutes on the minute, but the principle is that it alternates. There's an AMRAP, which is to do as many reps of something as possible in a given amount of time.
Correct.
Then there's for time, which is to try and get a set amount of work done in a certain period of time. Like say I have these 20 minutes now. I'm going to try and finish all of these reps as quickly as possible in the time I have available. You could do things for quality, which I think is also very important. Every time you go into the gym, you're not trying to kill yourself.
Yeah.
There got to be some days when you just go in there and you think, I'm just going to move, I'm just going to do some light stuff, I'm just going to sweat a bit and get it done. You could do things like circuits, which is like you said, 5
almost
rounds
an
of
EMOM.
time. It
Am-
could be like it could be EMOM, it could be an AMRAP, it could be for time.
Yes.
It's just a circuit of movements that you do over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always the good one from Mr. Tabata, who I think was a Japanese man, Mr. Tabata,
Yes.
which is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So do something high intensity for 20 seconds. Like you could even, if you really were starting out, you could do star jumps for 20 seconds. And you could take a rest for 10 seconds. And then just repeat that 8 times in 4 minutes and you'll be done.
Mr. Tabata.
Mr. Tabata, yes. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the favorite one, the forced rest.
Forced rest. Forced rest is my favorite one. Forced rest is like, say you do 5 minutes of work and then you rest 3 minutes and then you go again in a circuit.
So you do it 3 times and
And we didn't necessarily talk about chippers.
A chipper.
Chippers.
Yeah.
Chippers are different movements for, is it a set time?
No, it could be an ascending chipper or a descending chipper, depends. But either the rep scheme gets bigger or smaller.
I thought the meaning behind chippers is always that each movement is different.
Yeah, I
And
guess
then-
it could be. Yeah.
And you move through it.
And you move through it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I mean, it
move
would
through
be
it
silly
again.
to do like 100 wall balls and then 80 wall balls and then 60 wall balls.
Yes, yeah.
But you're right. For our listeners out there, you definitely want to, let's say, take 10 movements. You either start at 10, build to 100, start at 100, chip away down to 10, and each station varies as you go along.
Yeah, basically it's there's a lot available to you, well, rep scheme wise and movement wise.
I would think when you start thinking about building a workout, I would go through those different ways to do a workout that we just said, and just to repeat them. You could do EMOM, you could do AMRAP, you could do for time, for quality, you could do a Tabata, you could do circuits, you could do a chipper. So think about those different ways to do a workout, and each time you get into the gym, try a different one, and see which ones are your favorites, and just add movements to them, and see how they go together. Over time, you'll get used to what goes well together, and what really hurts, and what you can sustain, which I think is important. Because we spoke about high skill movements versus low skill movements. Sometimes safety first. You don't want to be doing things that are too crazy, especially when you're under fatigue. Even if your gym has the facilities to be doing bar muscle ups or ring muscle ups or whatever, you should probably, when you're working on your own, stick to something that's more low skill. Just
yeah, definitely. I think simple is best with all these workouts. And again, I'll speak from a CrossFit perspective, because that is what I do every single day. But time and time again, I'm always amazed at how the most simple workouts prove to be the toughest ones, or at least the most effective ones. I think you guys would agree, especially in the open, couplets are brutal. I mean, you take 2 movements, and they could be opposing movements, they could be movements that tackle the same muscle group. It really doesn't matter. But the point is, let's say you keep the rep range quite low to start with. A simple 3, 6, 9, 12 rep scheme of let's say thrusters at 43 kgs for guys, 34 for girls, and pull-ups
for 7 minutes.
For 7 minutes.
Yeah.
7 minutes. If you were to explain that to a general Joe out there, they'll probably say something along the lines of, "Oh, so we're only going to work out for 7 minutes."
Yeah.
But I'm paying 1,000 rand a month, so like how does that work out? I mean, surely to get results, I need to operate for an hour and 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's where most people go wrong. Is that, an hour and 7 minutes, when broken down, you're probably only working really hard.
Yes.
For 7 of them.
Yeah.
And that's where like CrossFit cuts through the static and just says, right, let's not fuck around. Let's prepare. We warm up. We select our compound movements, our workout design. And we acknowledge that we're going to go hard from start to finish.
Yeah.
And we do that every single day until your body morphs into a super you.
a Super Saiyan. I think
Super
it's Super Saiyan.
That's out there for our Dragon Ball Z listeners.
Yeah. So between you and Matt, so we've got how to structure our workout now, the different ways you can achieve the goal.
Yes.
EMOM and AMRAP and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the best movements? Thinking about, you're in the Virgin Active now. You're not in a CrossFit gym. We haven't got barbells. We're not dropping weights. We're not doing power cleans, and we're not doing snatches, because we're in the Virgin Active, guys.
Yes.
So what are some of the movements that you could do to build a high intensity program?
100 burpees for time.
100 burpees per time.
Well, if you're standing there and let's say there's a couple of things around you, but you don't want to touch any of them, you can do the fundamental gymnastic bodyweight movements.
You don't want to touch the equipment?
No, I'm just saying.
Why not?
No, I'm just saying that
you
could do it in your fucking lounge.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But these people won't. So, burpee,
Mm-hmm.
air squat.
Yeah, beautiful.
Which is basically a squat, push up, sit up.
Mm-hmm. I think
Lunges.
lunges, yes. You can even do a jump lunge, which is great.
Okay, so now let's say that you're standing at Virgin Active and you're at the functional zone and you have all those that I just said. Now you can add some more.
What a variety.
What a variety. You've got some bikes there.
You have some bikes, an assault bike.
Yeah. You've got a D-ball, so you could slam it.
Mm-hmm. If you had a tough day, that's a great movement.
Yeah. You've got, some of them have bars you can do pull-ups on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do pull-ups. Can't kip.
No kipping.
No, you do lots of strict. You should be doing strict pull-ups anyway.
Yeah. Someone will walk up to you and ask you why you're cheating.
Kettlebells.
Kettlebells. You can do all sorts of kettlebells.
Yeah.
You can do those movements that I just said with the kettlebells.
Kettlebell complexes are great.
Yeah.
Or even just carries. Carries with kettlebells are great.
Kettlebell cleans, kettlebell carries. You can do dumbbell snatches, dumbbell cleans, dumbbell push press.
Everything just has a different variation to it.
Yeah, lots of step ups.
What else is on here?
Step ups and box jumps.
And now we haven't even got to the fact that there's barbells there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's difficult. Like, normally at the gym, the functional areas are in a different place to the barbells and the squat racks and that sort of thing.
R1's at the bottom.
Which seems a little bit...
did we say rower? There's a rower and ski erg at R1.
Yeah, but what about cardio? Everybody loves cardio. So you want to get onto the machines. We have ski ergs, we have rowers, we have assault bikes, we have treadmills. Sometimes they have like true form type runners, assault runners. There's different ways to use them. So
they got those for the 3 machines and the fundamental. They got a few different bike versions. There's 3 bike versions.
Yeah, there's a spinning bike, there's an assault bike, and then
there's a the watt bike.
The watt bike.
It's almost like the assault, eh?
Yeah. Well, it's a spinning bike basically.
And then you got the thing that you stand on and that vibrates you.
Oh yes, we're definitely going to use that. But now, the thing is, when we get into the machines, we don't think about the different ways that we can use them. Like, the machines have different readouts. You could do time on a machine. You could obviously go for a certain amount of time. You could go for a certain amount of calories. You could go for a certain distance. You could try and hold a certain speed, or you could try and hold a certain number of watts per hour. So, like, a lot of times we just get on the machine, okay, we're just going to go for 5 minutes, guys. But we don't think about the different readouts on the machines and how to use them.
Yeah.
So I think try and incorporate those in your workout as well.
What about just getting the machine and going for 45 minutes slowly?
Yes. That's definitely...
Non-stop.
Non-stop.
Or how about getting on the rower and playing the fish game?
Oh, yes.
Or the darts?
Yeah. There's fun in fitness.
Yeah. So we can try that.
Zita's favourite is the fish game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Every time she comes to class, she asks me, Coach, can we please play the fish game? I said, Zita, we played the fish game last week.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah. Okay. And my last thing that I wanted to talk about, I don't know what else you've got, Matt, was, do you really need to track your workouts when you're just at the gym doing random things that you've made up? Do you really need to write it down?
I like this question.
I am a massive believer in tracking data.
Yes.
With regards to your workouts, and I don't mean the data you necessarily get off your Garmin watch or your Apple Watch. I mean how long it took you to complete a workout, especially if you have intention of doing it again in the future. So I think this is where, outside of the CrossFit realm, some people get lost in that they're either always striving to do something different and never coming back to test where they started, or alternatively doing the same thing over and over again and expecting within a 1 to 2 week period, or even from day to day, to see immediate results. So I can even speak from experience. I remember before CrossFit, I would do some functional training, and I had a couple of templates that I would cycle through, and as I became more experienced as a trainer, obviously those templates became more elaborate, but it's so easy to get stuck doing the same thing over and again. Like, okay, last week Monday we did 5x5 bench press and flies, and then we went over to the cable machine and we did some tricep extensions, and it's like, okay, cool, what are we going to do next Monday? Matt, what do you think? Matt probably said to me, let's do the same thing, but let's go heavier. I'll be like, yeah, okay, cool, I don't have to think too hard, but yeah, let's do that. Or even worse, let's just do the exact same session, right? And it's like, cool, you're exercising, pat on the back for starters, well done, it's better than staying at home. But if you're not, for example, establishing a baseline, and that baseline could be anything. Let's say we want to assess our fitness, right? So what are we going to do? Like we spoke about earlier, 100 burpees for time. So we do 100 burpees for time at the beginning of the month. Throughout that month, you should probably do a variety of different workout structures, like you mentioned, EMOMs, AMRAPs for time, quality, Tabata, circuits, whatever it is, chippers, that involve burpees to some degree, in which you're doing larger volumes of burpees, you're doing some workouts with high intensity versions, but smaller rep ranges, or even a slower intensity. It's really up to you. But the point is that when you get to the end of the month and you test those 100 burpees for a second time, because you tracked your data to answer your question.
Yeah.
You should be A, aware of how fast you need to move to beat your score, and B, in a position to reflect positively on your training program and say, hey, you know what, I actually got fitter, I enjoyed this process. Cool, on to the next one, and which markers am I going to use to enhance my fitness going forward? You know, maybe it's a different focus, maybe it's a strength focus or a flexibility focus, you know. But in order to really, you know, say to yourself, my time was well spent, and I am now a fitter person. I think it's really hard to have a finite answer if you have not tracked and measured.
We have not given a sample workout. We can show them how quickly and easy it is to make one.
A make-up workout on the spot. Standing at Virgin Active, around you, Justin, you've got a ski erg, you've got an assault bike, you've got boxes, you've got kettlebells,
you've got everything that we mentioned earlier,
and you've got a skipping rope.
And let's say that you're just average Joe. You don't know how to double under. You just, you know, lunges. You can air squat kind of.
I'm gonna do an EMOM, 45 seconds on, 15-second transition to the next station. I pick out my 5 movements: ski, box, kettlebell, barbell, and what else did you say? Dumbbells, and I put them in a line. Or in a rotation format, and I look at the timer, and without any stress, say, right, for 45 seconds, I'm going to see how many calories I can get on the ski. Move to the next station. I'm going to pick
box
up
jumps.
I'm going to set the box. Again, at a 80% effort, I'm just going to go and bang out 20 to 30 box jumps. Rest. Move on to the next station. Kettlebell swings.
Do some swings, 45 seconds.
Another 20 reps.
Do some skipping, single skips.
Single unders. Try go unbroken for 45 seconds.
What was that, an EMOM?
That was just an EMOM.
It's as simple as that, and you can just do stuff like that. I'll give you a 4-time one, since I like the numbers to make sense. You could do 100 single skips, and then you could do 80. What could you do 80 of? 80 meters of lunging. That sounds like a lot. You could do 60 calories on the rower, which would take you a good couple of minutes. You could do then 40. Let's do 40 burpees, and then do 20. Let's do 20 kettlebell swings, and then do 10 push-ups, and you'll be done. That'll probably take you like 15-20 minutes, and you're done. And you've gone at a good intensity, and it's pretty easy. You haven't irritated everyone by using all the equipment.
I mean, what did we do recently? The boxes are there. Let's say AMRAP, so as many rounds as possible.
How many minutes?
12 minutes. You're going to do 6 burpee box jumps. 6 calories on the bike. 10 calories on the bike. And you're going to do 12 kettlebell swings.
So what happens if you're in the middle of all this, you've put in all the effort, you're feeling super amped, you've applied all this CrossFit sort of terminology to your Virgin Active environment, and David Cross rocks up and he steals one of your stations mid-chipper?
It happens all the time at Virgin Active.
So what do? You
just you either ask nicely if it's a little guy, or if it's a big guy, you just leave it out. You leave the station out. You don't just do burpees in its place. Do something else.
Quickly change it up.
It happens all the time.
You'll be fine.
You'll be over there doing your skipping, and you'll turn around and someone else will take in your ski erg. You just go onto the row or something else. Just switch it up.
And then what do you do if you're like mid-row and an old tunny comes up to you and says, "Excuse me, Matthew, can you show me how to row?"
You just press pause.
You pause it or you tell it to fuck off. Go away.
But literally you get interrupted all the time. It's fine.
I guess you got to prepare for something like that.
Can you wear headphones? Virgin Active, it's commonplace to wear headphones there.
Definitely.
It's commonplace to do all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
But so in conclusion, quick one. Okay. So it's really easy to make a quick workout.
Yes.
We've told you all the little bits and bobs. Okay. We've worked out that it's way more beneficial to do these quick workouts than to do a long 45-minute on the bike or something like that. Okay. All the stuff's available to you when you walk into this place. There's maybe someone might bother you, but it's minimal problems. Why don't we do it?
Knowledge.
I think psychologically everybody thinks that by signing up at a gym, that equals results.
Yeah.
You have to rock up every single day for a minimum of 3 months if you want to see a change.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to leave you with that. Please go tell one person to listen to that piece.
Yeah.
That you know, and could save their lives.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Before we cut, I just want to ask your opinion on discovery points in the gym.
This gym.
Good idea, bad idea?
Great
in your
idea.
gyms.
Well, as it's the most motivating thing in Courtney's life.
Yes, I love discovery points. Please give me more.
It makes him work out for 30 minutes straight on Saturdays.
I'm going to stop working out if I don't get discovery points.
So if Discovery goes under and says, listen, Courtney, I know you've accumulated 500,000 points in your life and you hold them close to your heart, but we're going to terminate.
Man, I'm moving to outshirts.
You always get something out, right?
Always get something out. Oh man, I love loyalty points. Like you swipe your card at the right petrol station, and I don't know what else you do. You check in at Discovery. What else you get loyalty points? Use your credit card instead of your normal card just to get more points.
I think
you use your F&B stuff.
Incentive's always good. Little incentive.
You're a great candidate because you actually train, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, I think the psychology around it works for you.
Yeah.
But how many people do you know that literally try and rock up at the gym, swipe their card, log their points, and then walk out?
Apparently, someone told me, unnamed person told me, that the points machine used to be at the front door, but people were walking in saying hi and then tapping their points and then walking out again. They had to move the machine away.
So I mean, in that regard, then it's useless.
Yeah, it's useless.
It's useless.
But like as you ended earlier, it's make the effort go in, be consistent.
Of course.
So this tiny bit of incentive, maybe it helps these people just get over that little edge to go in.
Yeah.
And it all helps. Of course, if you really go down to the bottom of it, it's just Virgin Active and Discovery making money.
Yes.
It's a big company.
Yes. I mean, if you think about this, some people out there are in a position where they're earning free smoothies, coffees, and other treats in the week, and they are not training.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
That's bad. They're going to get diabetes. And that's their own fault. It's your own fault.
It's especially if you're emptying half a can of sweet and sour pork flavor on your popcorn.
Sweet and sour pork on your popcorn.
Where did you get that?
Where did you get that? Where did you buy that?
Is it a syrup or is it powder?
It's powder.
Sweet and sour
I imagine
pork
like
powder.
that like fatty blob of stuff just blop onto your
So
popcorn.
what is that other flavor?
Where
Sweet
do you shop?
sweet and sour is what's it called? It's not sweet and sour pork. What am I talking about?
I don't
It's like the lime green color on the Lay's chip packet.
Green onions, sweet chili.
Sweet
chili.
Sweet chili.
Lime
That's
green.
the orange one.
Green one.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Chutney.
What do you guys put on your popcorn?
I don't,
I don't eat popcorn very often.
No.
No,
Uh,
I just have regular
Oh,
salt.
if we go to the movies, we'll put the
Butter.
cheese and chive one.
Cheese and chives.
Cheese and
I thought it was
chives.
sweet and sour pork.
Jeez, how did you get that one mixed up?
Guys, it's hot in here.
It's hot.
Oxygen's killing my brain.
Alright.
Thank
Thanks,
you for
Jess.
listening.
Thank you very much.
If you want to contact us, noresultsmedia@gmail.com. If you want to get us on Instagram, norexpodcasts.
Slide in the DMs.
And the website, no results, only excuses @lipson.com.
Mm-hmm.
We now have a Twitter account, norexpod.
Who's tweeting on there? Are you tweeting on there?
Tweeting, no, it's but like 3 tweets.
Oh,
recently.
good.
But no,
must
I haven't,
just put a
I haven't
bot
made
on
any
there.
effort.
When people tweet us, we must just say something back like, follow us or don't.
Hey, you look great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Send, would you follow me or
Would you
something?
be interested in being our sponsored athlete?
We have no listener feedback today.
Why? Does
Because no
hate
one
us?
cares about
Did
it.
nobody reply on your question?
No.
Not even Roger.
No, not
No.
very much.
Guys,
But guys, send us emails. We want to start a mailing list. So please, we need to start collecting emails.
yes.
And then we can tell you guys when a post comes out, because we found that nothing gives reminders. So the best is an email, and then we'll remind you every time we have a new show.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers, Vessel.